Hey friends, okay, jumping on here for just a few minutes because I do want to take a few minutes to clarify and elaborate on some of my personal views and opinions regarding my Pepsi halftime show post that I put out there last night. And the first thing that I want to say is my beliefs still stand, and I don't want to feel like I'm beating a dead horse here, but I do think for especially women that this is a conversation that we all need to have, and it needs to be a good one and a healthy one, and it needs to be productive. So my goal with this video is not to change anyone's view or opinion. My goal is to elaborate on what maybe I didn't say so well last night, and to maybe hopefully start a conversation that helps me understand, but also helps us all understand how we can move forward and do better. Because unfortunately, we live in a society which is going to require us to do so. But before I kind of share and elaborate, I want to say two things. First, I want to say that obviously my views and opinions with my post last night still stand. Maybe I did not, maybe I wasn't slow to speak, although I thought that it was well written and that it was brief and put my opinion out there without being very ugly, which I thought is very easy to do in a situation like that. I felt like it was fine, but maybe there were a few things that were taken the wrong way. I don't ever want anyone to think I'm being judgmental or shaming people or pointing fingers, because, a friend of mine definitely reminded me of this today, that is what people think of when they immediately think of Christians or people that go to church or Bible thumpers. I was called that. I definitely don't want anyone to ever feel like they're not welcomed or they're not loved because of their personal opinions, views, sexual orientation, whatever. I may not agree with those things, and I may not find them to be my truth, because my truth I find now solely in here, because life is too confusing to find my truth anywhere else. But if we don't agree or don't have the same truth, then that does not mean that you're unwelcome to have a conversation with me or that you're not loved by me or supported. Because at the end of the day, I want everyone to be loved, and maybe my post did not say that as well as it probably should have. And second, what I shared last night in my post and what I'm elaborating on tonight and sharing tonight was not and is not intended to be my approval or disapproval of, and is not really even about, Latino women or dancing, not about the lyrics. It wasn't about the tongue thing that Shakira did. I actually do that at baseball games. It's quite embarrassing for Johnny, not me. I know that's a cultural thing. It's not even about the belly dancing or Shakira. She was incredible and delivered fully what I expected, because I know Shakira and I've been watching the two of them since I was in high school. I get it. It's not even really about the clothes. Were they my favorite? No. Could there have been a little bit more material in some places? Yes, especially if we were going to do the things that we were doing. But, it's the Super Bowl, it's a costume, whatever. At the end of the day, I get it. You're performing. It's fine. It's not that I could have turned it off and walked away. It's not that I could have had a conversation with myself, or, if my kids watched it, it's not that I couldn't teach them what I wanted them to know or what I wanted them to think was appropriate afterwards. It's not that. For me, it's about the fact that we live in a society that women are begging for, their bodies not to be overly sexualized. They're begging to not be sexually exploited, not to be objectified. We're in a society where, unfortunately, men are being accused of sexual harassment and rape. I'm not saying that those things don't happen and they don't occur, because they do. I know they do. But we also live in a society where, unfortunately, I think men, and my son one day, has to walk on eggshells. And not because he doesn't know how to act, or that his mom didn't raise him well, or his mom didn't raise him how to respect women, but because men and women are created differently when it comes to those things. And I'll put it out there. We all know this. As a woman, I know that there's one thing that most men want, regardless of, what you believe. One thing out there is going to make them happy. And as a wife, we need to know that. But it's true. God made men and women to be that way, and we have a special relationship and a bond because of those things, those characteristics that He gave us both. I'm not a feminist. I am not the girl power movement person. You know, that's fine if you are. That's fine. But what I want to say is that in today's culture, in today's society, whether they intended to have it delivered this way or not, we have to be careful. If we are going to require everyone else to raise the bar, to look at us and treat us a different way, then I'm having trouble understanding how we're okay with what happened last night. Crotch grabbing. Yeah, I just said that in a video. I don't understand how that is something that we can be proud of as women. I am fine with the dancing, the belly shaking, all that. You guys, I love to dance. I drop it low, real low. I've been in a twerk contest, like won a contest in the Bahamas to apple bottom jeans. It's true, it's true. But we're in a culture now that everything is sexualized. I know it just from stepping away from alcohol. Everything is sexualized when it comes to alcohol. I mean, we are in an epidemic right now in our society that, porn is a major issue. It's ruining marriages. It's desensitizing boys and men to what a healthy, normal sexual relationship or what God intended it to be. It's used every single second of the day, and it's one of the biggest players in the sex trafficking industry. And whether or not porn was created at the get-go to fuel the sex trafficking industry, I think is irrelevant. I think what matters is that today in our society, what we are currently dealing with, that's our standard, and that's what's happening. If we're gonna say we wanna end this over here, but say that's okay on national television in a male-dominated sporting arena during what I would like to hope it was a family halftime show. If we're gonna say that's okay, then I'm having trouble understanding where we draw the line. How do we ask all of these things of everyone else, but yet clap our hands as women and as females, as mothers, wives, spicy, not spicy, whatever. How do we say that some of what happened last night is okay and expect everyone else to do differently, especially men? That's what I'm struggling with. And how do we define what's women empowerment and what's exploitation? Why are we on such different spectrums, especially women, of what we believe is, powerful, strong, sexual, not sexual, respectful, not respectful? Why are we on such different pages about what that looks like? And can we find common ground somewhere? Whether you're on this side or that side, I think it's a great conversation. I'm very intrigued to know, what that looks like, and what the common ground may be. And then to figure out how you move forward. How do we move forward? Creating a culture where sex and women is respected and treated as it was intended to be treated, and not some weird thing that is made to be an issue everywhere. And hopefully this video helped elaborate on some of my honest, true feelings in a better way than my post did last night. And really wanted to say kudos to everyone out there sharing your truth, whether on this topic or anything else. I honestly feel that God has called me to speak boldly and in truth about certain things. And it's a very fine line to walk, especially as someone who wants to bring people to Christ and for people, who wants people to know Jesus. Because sometimes it's hard to share your opinion and share your views and values and morals in a way where you don't offend people and make them feel bad or make them feel judged or shamed, because that is not at all my intention. I want everyone to feel welcomed with me in my circle, in my house. It's the same thing with drinking. I don't drink and I am not the norm. I am looked at like I am some freak of nature. When people, ask me if I want to drink and I say no, I don't even have to say I don't drink. I just decline and they think I'm a weirdo. And that's fine. But just because you don't drink, or if you do drink, doesn't mean I'm not going to invite you over, or that we're not going to be friends, or that I won't love you. That would probably get rid of most of my social circle. But in all honesty, sharing your truth and being bold is hard. And for everyone out there having conversations and not, making others feel bad or degrading them or bringing conversations into a weird element, because we as adults from all different sides of the table should be able to come together and talk about things like this and, have good, healthy conversations, agreeing to disagree and move on. I have several friends I can do that with, and I love you guys, and you guys know who you are. But hoping this brings about some more conversation among some of my circle, because I think it would be a great one to have.